Hello students, today in the unit of circular motion we will learn about the torque and angular momentum. In this lecture we will learn about the definition of torque with the example, and similarly we will study about the angular momentum with real life examples. So in this unit we will cover this under circular motion. The prerequisites of this lecture is you have to know about the basic mathematical concepts like addition, subtraction, division, multiplication, etc. As well as you know the basic fundamental physics laws and their equations. We also studied about the equations of linear motion in last lectures. You also have to know about the dimensional analysis, and you also have to know the about linear circular motion. So if you know these things, then the lecture will be easy for you to understand. So let's start about torque and angular momentum as today's topic. For today's topic, we will discuss for torque and angular momentum. For torque, we will first understand torque in circular motion. We also discuss the similar equations or similarity between what we studied in linear motion and right now in present circular motion. We will go for next and define the angular momentum correspond to linear momentum in linear motion. So angular momentum will be in circular motion and linear momentum in linear motion. We also discuss the conservation of angular momentum with the help of real life examples and concepts. So let's discuss about these things. Let's define the torque. As definition, a quantity that measures the ability of force to rotate an object around any axis or some axis is known as torque. As here the lever arm, we can say the perpendicular distance from the axis of rotation to a line drawn along the direction of the force. As we saw from the example that we applied the force here, and this is the perpendicular distance. So torque is vector r cross f, this perpendicular distance cross multiplication with the applied force. So mathematically torque tau is defined as tau is equal to r cross f. It is vector quantity, it's having the direction. So I saw, you can see from the last slide that if it moving clockwise, then the direction will be negative direction. If it's moving in anti-clockwise direction, then the direction is upward, means positive z direction. So from mathematical definition, torque is r cross f, where tau is torque, f is applied force, is r is the distance from applied force. So in this way, you can understand that torque is the tendency to rotate the object along a fixed axis. The general equation for torque is tau is equal to r cross f. So it's a vector product. So we can also write it tau is equal to rf sine phi, where phi is the angle between tau r and f. If that is given by perpendicular, means phi will be 90. If the applied force and distance is perpendicular, then the torque will be the maximum. Or we can say that using the perpendicular component of the force at the movement arm of F, tau is equal to R F perpendicular, or tau is equal to R perpendicular into F. So we can write the equation of torque in this way also. Let's see the example of torque. that we are trying to open a door by pushing or pulling at the handle versus trying to open the door by pushing or pulling besides the hinge. Which is harder? Let's see from the example in our daily life. If I try to rotate the door at this point, or we try to rotate door at this point, which will be easy? So you can say this is the door and this one person is trying to rotate this door. Let's top view. If a force is applied here, then force, and this perpendicular distance will be the r, then tau is equal to r cross f. Tau is equal to r cross f. If let's see in another way, if a door is here and hinge is here, he applied force here, means we applied force here at this hinge, then there will be no torque, means no rotation, a door will not open. If we try to put the force here, you can say uh, at this corner, first we saw that force is applied at this corner, f2 applied here, no torque will work, means door will not open. If we apply the force here at this corner, then plenty of torque. If we applied the torque, means force at the center, then half as much as torque will applied. If we applied the force at this uh, perpendicular to this door, then no torque will act. So what we noted? We noted that door will be open, door can be open easily if we apply the force at the edge of door. If we applied the force is the middle of the door, then half torque will apply. It means tendency will be less. If we applied the force at this edge, no torque will act. If we apply the force in this way, then also no torque will act. So for torque, you can say the distance is too much, then force will be the less. So torque is equal to R cross F. In this way, we can understand that if we applied the force at the other end, then the door can be open as easy as possible. That's why handles always applied here. Carpenter always applied handle here, not put the middle of the door. So we can say that torque correspond to force. Just as a forces produces the translation acceleration, means causes a linear motion in the object starting at rest. In similar way, torque produces rotational acceleration. If we applied a force on any object, then object will try to move. In similar way, if we apply a torque, then that object is trying to rotate about that axis. That is the similarity between the force and torque. So in this way, we can say the force is playing the same role, torque is playing the same role in the rotational phenomena as force is playing in linear motion. So in this way, we can say the torque is equivalent to force in comparison to circular motion versus linear motion. We can say that their circular motion corresponds to linear motion. It has been observed that the linear motions quantities is having relation with the rotational motion. As like in linear motion, we say that the F is the force, but in circular motion, torque will equivalent to applied force. So in linear motion, the force, in circular motion, the torque will be equivalent. Correspond to force, there will be a torque. Correspond to mass in linear motion, there will be the moment of inertia in rotational motion. Linear acceleration will becomes angular acceleration in circular motion. Linear velocity of linear motion will become angular velocity of circular motion. Linear distance x becomes angular displacement theta in circular motion. So in this way we can say that linear motion or circular motion is resemble to linear motion with the change of physical different physical quantities corresponding to these physical quantities. We can also write down the equations of circular motion in terms of linear motions. We also know that from the definition, the linear momentum is defined by p is equal to mass into velocity. So I said similarly we can write the angular momentum L. The linear motion there is a mass, but in circular motion that will be the I. In linear motion the velocity, but in angular momentum that the omega. So angular momentum in similar way to circular motion we can write it L is equal to I omega. So you can see the same type corresponds equations of linear motion to circular motion. In this way we can write all the equations of linear motion in circular motion using these different physical corresponding physical quantities. Let's define the angular momentum. What is angular momentum? Mathematically, angular momentum of a rotating rigid object is defined by L equal to I into omega. I into omega, where I is the moment of inertia, omega is the angular velocity. L has the same direction of omega, means angular motion. L is the positive when the object rotates in clockwise counterclockwise, and L is a negative when object rotates in clockwise. So we can say here that if the object is trying to rotate in this counterclockwise, then the angular momentum will be the perpendicular of this object as given the figure. So mathematically, angular momentum is defined by L equal to I into omega. So its unit SI unit will be kilogram meter square upon second. We can also solve any numerical related to angular momentum as given here, that calculate angular momentum of a 10 kilogram disk where angular velocity is 320 radian per second, radius of that disk is 9 centimeter. Then we can also find the angular momentum. Why? Angular momentum L equal to I into omega. We know that I is a moment of inertia. For circular disk, mr square by 2 will be the equation of moment of inertia. So we would put the value of I and also put the value of omega. We can solve and find the value of angular momentum. So in this way, we can also define the angular momentum. If we know the quantity corresponds to linear motion, then we can also write the equation of angular momentum. Mathematically, it is given by L equal to I into omega. In details, we can say that angular momentum of a particle L equal to I into omega. We also know that I is equal to mr square, means moment of inertia mr square omega. We can also write that m r square omega equal to r omega equal to v. So mbr is perpendicular, so we can write mbr sine phi. Phi is the angle between B and R. So again we can write is RP sine phi. From figure we can say. So angular momentum of a particle can written as L equal to R cross P. We can see here that R P sine phi, that is equal to R cross P. So R, otherwise we also can write M into R cross B. So R is the particle's instantaneous position vector, P is the instantaneous linear momentum. Only tangential momentum component contribute. So we can say that angular momentum can be write in this way also. Let's see the example that a particle moves in xy plane in a circular path of radius r. Find the magnitude and direction of its angular momentum relative to an axis through O when its velocity is v, as we can see from figure. So the angular momentum vector points out to the diagram. The magnitude of L is equal to Rp sine theta. We know that R and V is perpendicular because its radius. So MVR. So a particle in uniform circular motion has a constant angular momentum about an axis through the center of its path. So in this way, we can reach an important conclusion that if a particle is moving in a circular path, then its angular momentum quantity will be constant. Why constant? Mass of any object is constant. Velocity, if object is moving in uniform circular velocity, then v is also constant. R, the radius of circle, is constant. So if any object is moving in a circular path, then its angular momentum will be constant. This useful phenomena, its useful concept, can be used in many ways. You can see in next slides. We can see the relations between angular momentum and torque from the basic laws. That rotation motion, if there is a rotation, then there will be torque. Torque causes the angular momentum to change. As like we know that linear momentum, rate of change of linear momentum is known as the force. Rate of change of linear momentum is known as the force. We know that we know that force is resemble to torque, and angular momentum is linear momentum is resemble to angular momentum. So rate of change of angular momentum will also equal to the torque. So torque is equal to dl upon dt. In this way, we can say that force is resemble to torque and linear momentum is resemble to angular momentum. We can discuss about the conservation of angular momentum. If we take an isolated system means a system there is no external force, external torque acting on a system. Means there is no external torque acting on a system, then there will be no external force. No external force acting on the system is zero. So we know the formula is torque is equal to dl by dt, means rate of change of angular momentum. Torque is defined by rate of change of angular momentum. If torque is 0, then dl by dt is equal to 0. The differentiation of some quantity is 0, then that the value of that quantity is always constant. From the mathematical equation, from the mathematical differential calculus formula, we know that L is equal to constant. So we can say that in this way the angular momentum is conserved for that system. So we can define that a system, if there is no external torque is acting, then that system's angular momentum will be the constant. We also can elaborate it as L total is equal to constant. So initial angular momentum will be the final angular momentum, final stage angular momentum. For an isolated system consisting of many particles, so we can summarize that L total is equal to summation of Ln, L1, L2, L3 and so on. That will also will be the constant. We know that L equal to I omega, so we can say that I1 omega 1 means initial I omega I means initial stage of angular momentum is equal to final stage of angular momentum. That will be also a constant quantity. So this is the conservation of angular momentum, which state that if there is no external torque is acting, then the angular momentum of that particle is constant. The example of conservation of angular momentum can be seen here, that if a person is sitting with dumbbell in this way and he open his hand, then the rotational tendency will be the less. Means angular momentum means rotation tendency will be less. That why? Because I L equal to I into omega, that is the constant quantity. So when he's open his hand, then I means mr square, moment of inertia will be high. I, we know that I is the moment of inertia. Moment of inertia depends upon the radius. So if he open his hand, then the radius will be this much. So if one quantity is high, then the second quantity will be low. Then this quantity will be high and this quantity will be low. Why? Because product of this quantity is constant. So for example, if this quantity is 4, then that will be the 3. So angular velocity will be the 3, for example. And whenever he close his hand, so radius will be less. Radius will be less, then moment of inertia will less. Then that quantity, another quantity will be high. So again it will convert, this will be low, means this will be 2 and this will be 6. So again will be 12. Here I suppose here the I is the 4 and moment of an angular velocity is 3, then 4 3 is 12. Here if he close his hand, then moment of inertia will less. Why? Because its radius, moment of inertia depends upon radius will less, so it will be approximately 2. Then angular velocity will be should be 6, because 6 into 2, that will be 12. So in this way the conservation of angular momentum can be applied to rotate continuously anything. So we try to minimize the moment of inertia so that the angular velocity can be speed up. We also can see that an athlete, how he jumps, he when he jumps, its angular momentum is conserved. Then he try to bend the body to minimize the radius of rotation. Whenever he minimize the radius, then he will try to rotate. Whenever if will he will not try to minimize the body, then he will jump directly. We can say the example of angular momentum conservation, that student is spinning on a stool, how he can slow down and speed up the rotation. The springboard driver, how he come speed up and reduce the rotational. A long jumper, how he can go the long distance if he use the basic physics angular conservation of angular momentum concept. Then he try to shrink his size, then he will go maximum distance because he can rotate more. So in today's lecture we understand the basic concept of circular motion, and also we find the quantities who resembles with linear motion. So if we know the equations of linear motion and the quantity of that circular motion, we can write down the equation of circular motion. We also understand the concept of torque as well as angular momentum. We also recall the conservation of angular momentum, and we saw that in daily life how we can maximize the things, maximize the speed of, maximize the things with the help of conservation of angular momentum. In this way we studied about the torque and angular momentum in today's lecture. Let's discuss the practice question. If you gone through this lecture, you can solve the a particle moves in an xy plane in a circular path of radius r. Find the magnitude and direction of its angular momentum related to an axis through O when its velocity is v. You can find the things easily. You can find the what will be the angular momentum about the point P if the car leaves on a track A and ends up at point P with the same velocity. You can also find out these. And last one, you can say that a 40-kilogram child running at 4 meter per second jump tangentially onto a stationary circular merry-go-round platform whose radius is 2 meter and whose moment of inertia is 20 kilogram meter square. Consider there is no friction. Find the angular velocity of the platform about the child has jumped on. You can also solve this if you've gone through this lecture. So in this way we can conclude that we studied about the torque and angular momentum and we solved the questions related with these. Thank you so much.